People who call Alice Springs home are loyal and protective locals. They don't like outsiders talking down the town they love. They choose to live here because they've got a strong sense of community. You rarely find that anywhere else. So to go as public as they have, demanding help and change, is a sign of their deep frustration and despair at years and years of being let down.
I still think we can win, and that's where we're at here. So let's just knuckle down and have a fight.
And this is another local, Luke, who we spoke to out in the front lawn of his home as he boarded up his house after his second break-in in a matter of weeks, with a car stolen this time, as well as credit cards and rooms left ransacked.
My family's been here for a very long time. It's really tough.
It wasn't always like this. I came to Alice in the mid-90s, 30-odd years ago, and I remember a very different place.
Alice was a very different place for me growing up. There was a lot you could do.
Luke spoke about almost fortress-like living behind big fences. Darren Clark said it's got to the point he's scared to leave his home in case it gets broken into when he's out.
I'll get invited to different things, but I've got a rule. I don't cross the river after 5:30.
Worse still, as a baker, he's up early to get to work, and he lives in fear most days about what he'll find when he leaves home.
So then you walk outside, and then you're worried you're going to get jumped outside or someone's out there because you just don't know what neighbourhood's going to get hit at any time.
It's hard for me not to ask them why they're still here. Why put up with these living conditions that if they were happening in Melbourne or Sydney, there would be marches in the street.
Because no one's listening to us. Just tell me a story. So I can help you.
As everyone I spoke to over the past 3 days told me, it's not as if the powers that be, the NT government and the Albanese government in Canberra, weren't warned. And even one of the PM's own team, Labor member Marion Scrimshaw, who lives, like Jacinta Price, in Alice Springs, spoke up.
It is not self-determination to facilitate the non-traditional lifestyle choice of an Aboriginal drinker.
We've heard a lot last week about Aboriginal communities wanting alcohol bans reintroduced, and strong Aboriginal voices, like Price and Scrimshaw too, demanding that they are put back in place, these bans, to protect the most vulnerable, the women and children. But aside from some light restrictions on the sale of takeaway alcohol announced by the PM as he flew out last week, very little has changed. As we were out filming on Sunday morning, a member of the public gave us this footage that they had filmed on the main street near the Todd Mall the night before. I spoke with a health worker. She gave me this picture. Have a look at those weapons. They were found in a car outside the Alice Springs Hospital after a bloke allegedly threw a rock through the door of the emergency department to try and get in and exact retaliation against an individual who'd already been admitted with stab wounds. That's what she told me. She also didn't mince her disgust as a mum having to do a sexual assault test on a 4-year-old child with chlamydia. And we've never spent more on Aboriginal disadvantage as a nation as we spend today. $30 billion plus each and every year. Where are the outcomes? Where are the activists